So we want to talk a little bit about your comedy then tonight. We're good.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Amazing. Yeah. Also, I was just going to say, like, if there's anything, we're not on record, right? Or we are recording?
We are, but we can take this out if you don't.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No, I just was going to say, like, I misspoke on one thing.
Okay.
And I also wanted to add something.
Okay.
But, so I don't know if you guys still have any questions to wrap that up. Or I could just say it off record, you know?
No,
but,
it's up to you.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, okay, so there was this part where you were asking me if I had met Tupac's mother, and the truth is that I met her at school when he was in trouble. I saw her coming up the stairs, like actually with him. We're like, uh-oh, because he was in trouble. She had to go and speak to the principal.
Oh, wow.
And she was walking up the stairs, like, with her dignity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was very brief, like, moment of meeting her. It wasn't like, oh, hi, Mrs., Afeni, nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. But it was like he was in trouble. And I got to witness that moment.
Wow.
You know? And then, of course, when the fire happened where I was living, he spoke to her and she said yes to him that I could stay there. And so, you know, when she passed not that long ago, Afeni, like, I remembered that. I did a tribute to her because, you know, that's the one mom that reached out that said, yes, I will take you in. It wasn't just Tupac. It was Afeni. It was his mother saying, let's take this girl in.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. She's such a dynamic woman. You know, she had her ups and downs, of course, in life, you know, and not all of it was, you know, rainbows and butterflies, but
That's
the one thing that she seemed to do throughout it all is hold her head up, and she had a lot of pride for herself and, you know, her family, and she definitely, you know, expected a lot out of Tupac. So, yeah.
So now,
but I did hear just a little piece of that. I did hear later that through somebody close to him also that she was addicted to crack at that time.
Yes. Yeah.
So they were like, it's actually probably better that you didn't move in during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So what was he in trouble for?
I was trying to remember, what was he in trouble for? I'm just going to speculate. I don't know, and I shouldn't speculate, but I have like a vague recollection, like he either skipped class, there's something he was not gelling with that was a required class that he was not trying to be in that class. Okay. And so you can't just it's truancy if you don't show up, you know?
Right.
So I'm pretty sure it was like, but I'll have to get that confirmed and verified, and I might be misspeaking, but it was something like that. Yeah. It was some type of like truancy type of thing, and he got in trouble for it. But I'm going to have to ask some of my old school pals if they remember, because I know somebody did tell me exactly because they knew, and now I'm not sure.
Okay.
I mean, he was trying to do his music at that point too. I'm sure he did ditch out every once in a while, just trying to.
I mean, okay, back in those days, I skipped school, okay?
Yeah, I did too.
Listen, I wasn't a bad student. I wasn't a bad kid. Right. I skipped school. We had skipping parties all the time. Yeah. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially when you're a junior and a senior, like they have a name for it, senioritis.
Right? Yeah. We
would hitchhike to the beach. We'd go to the beach, like all the seniors. We'd go to the beach, and I remember this one girl being like, "You girls aren't going to graduate," and we're like, "We're going to graduate. We just had more fun."
Right. Absolutely. I know I was in 10th grade, which was not good, but I had one of my teachers wrote, "We didn't see you much the last quarter of the year." I'm like,
but he was right.
He was right. He was absolutely right. It was geometry, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not into this. I don't want to be here." Yeah.
So I have a question for you, right? So you joke about Tupac on stage, and you even say you were more gangster than him. What's the most surprising reaction you get when you say that?
The most surprising that I got when I said that was when I was at the Comedy Store developing it in the belly room, and it was the show called The Show Up, Go Up. So anyone you show up, you're going to go up.
Oh, okay.
And I remember a guy wanted to fight me because he thought that I was lying. Because he said, he goes, first of all, you're too young to have gone to school with Tupac. And so, like, that's, you ruin your credibility by being young. I'm like, looking young does not.
Right. So thank you for the compliment, but yeah.
Don't let the beauty fool you.
Right?
Old.
Right?
Wow.
Love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, like, did you ever have a moment where you realized, okay, this joke kind of hit a little differently depending on the crowd you were performing in front of?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, you know where it hit the most was just recently I went to Standing Rock, the Prairie Knights Casino for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe on their reservation.
Okay.
And that crowd ate it up. And I even like I added something for them.
Okay.
Because I have like punchlines that are like, so I knew Tupac when he was only one Pac.
Right.
And then I call his sister Chicken Pac. And then I added, and I knew his res cousin Tube Socks.
That's too funny. Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, I had a great set there. They were amazing. It was like one of those shows where I don't know how it's going to go. We'll see, you know?
Yeah.
It was just really like, it was so great. And for other reasons, like that's a part of my set, but it's just one bit, you know? I did a half-hour feature set there. So, but it's a highlight. It's one of the strongest bits I have because it's real and people love him. And it's scary to say. It really challenges me because I know how famous he is. Like, I know it's problematic when you are, it's almost like I don't want to have to talk about him, but it's taken a long time to actually have the courage to really develop the bit and do it because people are really critical in comedy and they really just, even online, like, oh, you're just trying to get famous off of Tupac's name or something, you know? And it's just like, I'm just I've been funny. And even in high school, my friends were like, you're doing stand-up, you should do stand-up. But it never clicked in my head that was really an option for me. And so I actually started comedy when I was 30.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Why you was so long?
Because I really thought my pathway was as a dramatic actor, and I was in, I was in drama in high school. I was in not tons, but many performances. And I got the acting bug, but I was always funny. So I just thought I had to be respectable and go the dramatic actor route and do real theater, maybe move to New York and do real theater. But my sister moved here and she got with an agency and she's like, you got to come now while you're young. Like Hollywood's all about, exploiting the youth. So you better get here now and then you can go to New York later when you're old. And, so I just never left. So I developed here. It's also really hard to develop comedy in LA because when you're bad in the beginning, really important people are going to see you and write you off. So I had to get funny really fast, but I had a lot of stage time from being an actor, and like stage time is stage time. Like your performance body knows, I had stage presence. So actually people thought that I was a national headliner like 6 months into comedy, and I won a 2-year and under comedy competition.
Wow.
Congratulations, that's really big.
Yeah.
Which kind of like was like the big thank you. It was like this, okay, all it said was, oh, I should keep going.
Yeah.
I should keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but go ahead. Sorry, I don't even know if I answered you.
No, you did.
You
Yeah.
did.
So the first time that you were on stage as a comedian, like, how did that feel? Like, what do you remember about that moment, like, the most?
Such a thoughtful, nice question, because it's real. It really is. You know, I thought that doing stand-up would be the same kind of nerves as theater, which of course you get nerves, but you're with an ensemble, so it's not the same. Like, I woke up at 5 a.m. dry heaving, throwing up.
Wow.
Because I guess I was so petrified, you know, because like when you're an actor, you're hiding behind a character, somebody else's name, a different persona, somebody else is writing, somebody else is directing, somebody else is producing. So you're safe, and to a large extent, you're safe inside that performance. But as a stand-up comedian, you're the writer, you're the performer, you're the producer, director, you're all those things. Literally, I was a producer. I was producing my own comedy shows just so that I could bring people to me instead of chasing people in the comedy game. I was like, let me be alluring. let me attract instead of chase, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to control the environment, because the comedy, when I was getting into it in 2006, was still very much a boys' club.
It's silly, though.
And female comics just really had to there's different rules for us.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, they want to argue with this topic, because they're like, you're free to do it. What are you talking about? It's hard for all of us. And we're like, we get it. It's hard for all of us, but it's a particular different type.
Harder for you.
Hard for females.
Yeah.
There's certain things I can't say that you can say.
Yeah.
As a female, there's certain things that when I say it, it's just too cringe, you know?
Right.
But there are things you can say, we can say.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
That's true. But the environment, it's more like the environment.
Okay.
It's very like, it's a boys' club. So do you always want to be in the locker room listening to all the shit that guys say, and also just, sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Like the Me Too movement was like, I was just laughing, like, nobody's going to take down these guys in comedy, because you get blacklisted, you get thrown out. Like, if you want to commit comedy career suicide, you will drag somebody in the Me Too movement. Like, nobody said shit,
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's still so ripe for but whatever, that's its own expose someday. But it's not easy to be at the Comedy Store, at any of these big clubs, or trying to go on the road with comedians. Like, you have to really, like this thing that I'm on Amazon, Rosie Tran Presents, that was a female comic that I came up with that booked me on that role.
Okay.
Like, I earned that from just being her peer.
Yeah.
And coming up with her,
Yeah.
And so, it's really important to support, as a female comic, to like support other female comics and be supportive and not be competitive, because we literally need each other.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the Me Too movement, have you ever offered a role or opportunity, but it come with string attached to it?
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Sure. Come on, give it to me.
I mean, this is like a Me Too moment. Like, if I say it,
You don't have to say like
name,
names
yeah.
or specific,
Names?
or specifics,
Okay.
or just a generalization.
okay, there's somebody doing some like lawn work outside. I hope you can't hear it.
We can't.
No, we can't
we're
hear that.
good.
You can't? Okay, amazing. Okay, good. So, I went to Kansas City to open for a big headliner, actually to feature for a big headliner. And a friend of mine who was on the show as another feature, there's like 3 or 4 of us on that show, he's the one that got me the job. He was like, actually, we need a female comic because it would really balance out the show, be a voice for the female audience members. So, come down to the show, Kansas City Improv. If you do well on Friday, we'll let you come back on Saturday and Sunday. So I was like, great, I'll do it. I was already in town there for a documentary that I'm making. So it was like this amazing highlight of like my career. Like I'm filmmaking and I get to do comedy, and it was like I was on such a high. It was really empowering. And then I get there, and I open the door, and the guy goes, he's like facing the wall, like not even looking at me, like a mafioso, you know?
Wow.
And he's like, if you're gonna hang out with us this weekend, you need to sleep with so-and-so, my friend that already booked me. And so I laughed, and I was like, I was like, oh, okay. Like, of course this is a joke, right? And so I guess they took that okay as agreement, which wasn't agreement, you know?
No.
And I didn't know this until the next night, because they were like, you did great, you know, come back Saturday. So Saturday I did the show, and it was like during winter time, it was like icy and stuff. And so my friend said that he would walk me back to my hotel. Like I got my own hotel. I was a very, like, I wasn't dependent on these guys. I had my own hotel. I had my own situation. He was just being a friend in the moment of like, you literally have to hold on to these things that they put up or you'll slip on the ice.
Yeah.
And so he's just being a gentleman, like walking me back to or so I thought, you know? And so we get back, we come in, I'm going to call a cab for him to take back. I'm going to pay for it to be a gentleman back, woman back. And then so as soon as the door shut, he was like, what about what he said? And I go, what? And he's all, what about what he said? You know?
Wow.
You said okay, so okay. And I was all, whoa.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are you joking? Like, no. I don't even remember. I just was like, I didn't know what to do. And this guy took it really far. Like, I definitely did not sleep with him. But he like pretty much like pleased himself in front of me.
Wow.
And like, it was so awkward. Like after, I remember, so this was the Me Too movement for me, was like actually talking to these guys myself, and I didn't drag anybody publicly, but like there was like a couple things where I even had another female comic who knew this person sit and do a mediation with us in the park.
Wow.
Where it was like, I just want the apology, and I want you to promise not to do this to any other females in comedy.
Did they apologize?
Because I got an apology, from both of them. I got an apology. And you know what? It doesn't really help.
Yeah.
It doesn't really help, because for me, I know how much time I lost not going back there.
Yeah.
I still don't go back there.
Yeah.
I don't go back to the Comedy Store because of those two guys one guy was the talent coordinator. Oops, sorry, I let that slip.
Yeah.
And then and too, like, you don't know if he does it with somebody else.
Right. That's traumatizing.
So,
yeah.
I'm sorry that happened.
So that's part, like, that's my struggle with my comedy career right now.
Yeah.
I have like, I'm traumatized, and there are certain places where I just don't go. And also I'm Jewish, and it's really hostile environment for Jews right now, especially in comedy clubs, because it's really trendy to be anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
You know, people took the Palestinian side, that narrative, and there's so much propaganda against Israelis and Jews, and it's so like deep. It's just really an unsafe time. So it was already like, when you think about a female comic going out and doing shows, it already feels vulnerable being a female comic. But now it's like, I'm Jewish, so I'm wearing like locally hated, my locally hated shirt, with my chai. Jewish pride. You know what? Because like, speaking of Tupac, like I was saying how Black pride he had, and I love being around it. I love being around Latin pride, Black pride. I didn't have Jewish pride back in high school. I didn't even tell anybody I was Jewish.
Yeah.
I used to tell them I was Puerto Rican.
Really?
Don't do that.
Really?
I used to tell them I was Puerto Rican in that it was an all Black girl gang.
Yeah.
So
that
let
I
me,
was in.
let me
So
a-
if I told them I was Jewish, like, I wouldn't be in that gang.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, right? So for somebody who's a Jewish woman who's been going through all this, what do you want people to know and understand about the whole situation?
I just want people to understand that it's a two-sided conflict.
Yeah.
There's two sides. And if you're we should be about coexistence. But the Jewish story is being erased. We have a really long, deep connection to that land. We're a tribe, just like any other indigenous tribe that is a land-based tribe. Native Americans, and I know this, my spouse is Native American, they have sacred sites just like we do. Our sacred sites are in Jerusalem. They're actually in the West Bank. That's Judea, Samaria. We have sacred sites there it's our soulmate. Israel is our soulmate.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, we're not going anywhere. I don't live there, but I'm very connected there. I have cousins there. I work with people who lost, their young women who got raped and murdered by Hamas. Like, it's very close to me. Like, there's a lot of Jews maybe that are assimilated. They don't have a connection to Israel. They're being used as tokens by people that are our enemies. Well, see, this Jew doesn't, is anti-Zionist, is anti-Israel. So it's okay if she says it, so I can say it. So it's a lot. There's so much to this,
Yeah.
So I just know that I was made for such a time as this. My parents were civil rights activists, and we stand with all marginalized communities. But when it comes and Jews we have the receipts of standing with, like, being the first to go, like, stand with people on the front lines.
Right.
I went to Standing Rock, with JR to be a water protector. Like, that's who Jewish people are. Like, I feel like my message is, you got us all wrong. We're a minority, so chances are you've never met a Jewish person.
Right. Right.
You get to know us.
Right.
We're helpers. We're the helpers. We're bringing the light. We're holding. People get this idea of, it's twisted. It's like they think that we're the chosen people, so we think we're better and superior. No. Chosen to hold God's word in the Torah.
Yeah.
Chosen to hold that word, to bring that light to the nations, to everyone. And so we know that God has a role for everyone. And it's just, that's the role. And that God went to other nations to see, to ask. And those nations said no, but the Jews said yes. We said yes. We're up for that. Those are our mitzvahs, our commandments. To do good in the world and to bring the light. It just comes down to, there's darkness and there's light, and we're just trying to be the light.
Good. I mean,
I love that message.
Yeah, that's a conflict a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
And sometimes I hate when people who doesn't understand it speak on it.
Right,
sometimes
Here comes the experts.
Yeah,
Right,
like to me, like,
you don't.
I don't understand it. I cannot speak on it.
No.
But you are a Jewish lady. You
Yes.
can speak on it.
Yes,
But
yes.
I've seen people on TV. I'm not doing it. You don't know anything.
But also, can I tell you something? I'm a Jewish woman that went to Israel also, so I can speak on it.
Yeah.
So I know, like, a lot of American Jews can't. They have no connection to Israel. They're just completely assimilated. They don't even go to synagogue anymore, and they're just embarrassed by the Jewish tribe.
Yeah.
And they're self-haters themselves. That internalized anti-Semitism is real.
Yeah.
But I've been to Israel. I know the facts. I studied the geopolitical, the whole thing. I understand the Jewish story. I really educated myself.
Yeah.
And you know, there's an issue of borders of where Palestinians live in Palestinian Authority areas, so they don't have the same rights as Arab Israelis who may or may not identify as Palestinian, that are Israeli citizens. And those Israeli citizens, they're Arabs. There's only Arabs and Jews, okay? So Palestinian is like, it's a name that was created politically. Okay, it was never a region. It was never a state.
Right.
It was never okay. So that's a lot of people just don't understand that part. And so we know there are 2 million in the in a state the size of New Jersey, there are 2 million Arab Israelis that are citizens with full and equal rights as Jews. And anyone that says differently has not been to, it's a democratic state. It's the only democratic state in all of the Middle East. We should be, especially progressives, Israel should be the progressives' little darling.
Right.
Instead, because it's a democracy to be proud of. And, but the conflict and the propaganda is so deep in Qatar and like Russia and China. They're spreading so much misinformation that is just, it's so overwhelming. And Jews are such a tiny minority. Jews, we don't have the algorithm. There's only a few of us that feel like courageous enough to speak out. So we have this handful and our voices are drowned, they're buried. So we need allies to speak up for us because we're getting drowned out, and there's, they're calling us the genociders, but there really isn't a real genocidal attempt to kill every Jew. There's a war on Jews around. It's a global. They want to globalize the Intifada. If you look up the first and second Intifadas, there are violent uprisings against Jews where Jews were murdered. And it's all documented. So the fact that like just last night in Queens, you have all these protesters, the Free Palestine protesters out there screaming this chant that they were chanting that they support Hamas. And they're in the front of a synagogue where there's Jews inside who are trying to pray. And that wouldn't happen if it was any other minority. Like imagine the KKK outside of a black church. Society is going to find a way to shut that shit down. But because they're Jews and the society, anti-Semitism has been mainstreamed through Qatari influence and all that Qatari money into our colleges, billions and billions of dollars into our colleges, where they get perks. Now they can hire their own teachers and professors that are anti-Israel with anti-Israel narratives. And in 20 years, we've raised a whole generation Z of anti-Israel people. It's really scary, actually. And also, the Jews are the canary in the coal mine. So if it's not a good climate for us, best believe it's not a good climate for you. We're being Islamized. Political Islam is trying to take over the West and dismantle it.
Wow,
everybody has to wake up.
I hope, because my thing is that I hope we can find a way to coexist, to live together. Because, I mean, it's an endless, senseless war.
Well, but it's been going on for so many.
It's just that we have to understand that we're Westerners. We have a way of life that anti-Westerners don't. It's not. That's what I'm trying to make people understand. This is a war on the West. It's just that the Jews are first. We're the canary in the coal mine. So that's why I'm saying that it's a war on the West. So Westerners have to wake up to protect our way of life. Otherwise, we're going to live under Sharia law. If I come from liberals. I'm a progressive, but the far left, the left has taken it so far, and they've welcomed in this element of foreign hostile governments. So it's not.
Politics is dirty games.
Politics is,
Anyway. I'm
sorry you have to go through that.
Don't pity me. Just
I'm not trying to pity you.
Sorry, thank you for your compassion. I take that back. Thank you. But I was just gonna say, like, don't pity me, but please be an ally. Like, if you hear people being anti-Semitic, push back on it.
We will.
I mean, and I do have to educate myself about that too. Because I don't think I know enough. You know what I mean? So that's
exactly. And like, educate yourselves. Like, really study the geopolitical, like, what's what. Because if you do independent research from the mainstream narrative, you're going to find how many lies are being pushed. So many lies. There's a whole campaign on Wikipedia because, Wikipedia is very open. So there's all this, it's fraud. It's like they're propagandizing Wikipedia. So there's all these lies there, and people don't know what is the truth. But the truth is out there.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Just have to look for it.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, that is common in every marginalized, population because, I mean, we've definitely whitewashed a lot of things, especially in this country, in terms of how we've not told the truth, not told reality, so not spoken.
Oh yeah, like when I'm with JR, we're going to like these different Indian casinos and different reservations. Like he's given me such an amazing, or at least like us together doing this, it's been so it of this education of Native America. Where I'm like, you should do tours and take people through this because it literally felt like. This is there's a whole other America here that people are not really paying attention to.
Yeah.
And, like, we're not taught all these things in school. And even when we are, it's not fully, the whole thing.
Yeah.
They just glance over it.
Yeah. I mean, I part of love being with Rodney is I learn more about Haitian culture, every day. And,
we try.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I think that people could learn a lot just by getting to know other people that don't look like them and, aren't, Yeah.
Well, that's what like the Great American Experiment is supposed to be.
Right.
We're supposed to be this melting pot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We will at some point. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk, if you don't mind. We'll go, move to, let's talk about money in comedy. Rodney and I are like, we're huge fans of comedy, any comedy. I mean, we love watching comedy, and going to see comedy shows.
Yeah.
So like, how long does it realistically take before someone can even like think about doing comedy full time? Like as their only job, or at least their major one.
20 years.
Again, you have really great questions. The biggest mistake that young comedians do is try to, like, they think they're ready when they're not ready. And it actually does. It really depends on the comic. I've seen, gosh, I can't think of his name, but I saw one guy like. In 2 years, he was already in like A-lister movies.
Wow.
But then I've seen people take 20 years to hit.
Yeah.
And then I see like these same open micers that haven't moved up any levels in all this time.
Yeah.
It's like, you could be a doctor by now. You've really dedicated to something that's not paying off.
Yeah.
So it depends on the talent. How quick somebody learns, but you really got to give it. Even if you're funny, it takes time you need lots of stage time, because you learn something every time, and you learn by failure. You're gonna bomb.
Yeah,
you can't ever escape that.
Yeah,
and when you do, the pain of that is gonna make you work harder. So it's like any new comics, like get ready to bomb. Be comfortable doing it, because not get comfortable, like feel the pain of it and make yourself work harder.
Yeah.
And then because the laughter is so sweet.
Yeah.
When you're not bombing and like you're all of a sudden you kept at it, you're consistently getting laughs all throughout. There's nothing better. It's like, must be like what it's like to surf, I can't get up on the board.
Right.
But I remember thinking I could. Yeah. And getting out there and paddling, and the waves would just push me back to shore. I'd be like, dang, I really respect surfers, man. This is not easy. But, audience members every night are gonna like drink and think, oh, she's making it look easy. So I want to get up there and do it. And that's why hecklers are hecklers. They really want to be up there performing.
Okay.
Yeah. They're jealous of the comedian. They want to get up there. They want the attention.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So how do you deal with hecklers?
I guess it just depends on like, okay. I would say a really good rule of thumb is to not shut them down right away, because the audience doesn't want to feel like if they interject something, you're just going to shut them down. That's not nice. But if it depends on what they say, and you have to remember, you have the microphone.
Yeah.
Don't ever give the microphone away. And not everybody can hear what the heck they're said, so you can make it up. If they said something, I'm sorry, was that gibberish? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Are you trying? Is that like? I can't even think of anything right now. But like, are you wearing your man flops and heckling me right now? I thought I told you to wait in the truck.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So like, it's an opportunity to show skill, and because audience members, they don't want to just. We're not actors doing a monologue.
Right.
Like, it has to be, like, right in the moment right now, even though you have your tried and true material. Like, I come from the Bill Hicks School of Comedy, which is just the principles that I learned from Bill Hicks. And he really just says, like, you get up there and you get up there like you're bungee jumping. Like, you get up there with nothing.
Right.
And have your act, but have your act to fall back on.
Okay.
But get up there with nothing, because so much like is available that you didn't know, because it's a relationship. It looks like I'm doing this by myself. I'm doing this with the audience. Like, as soon as I get up there, I'm connecting.
Yeah.
I'm like all my feelers are out because we're connecting, and so I'm intentionally connecting, and so I might say something that's hilarious that I didn't even plan because I'm connecting.
Right.
It's all about the connection.
Right.
True.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more comedians do more crowd work,
I love crowd
and
work.
like and posting it on social media. You know, like the crowd work part of their stand up, and I think that's interesting because it's cool because it's off the cuff a lot of times. You know, it's not part of your set. So
And even if it's something that you wrote ahead of time, that's called having bullets in your gun.
okay.
So if you have something ahead of time in there, you're ready for anything, but you want to make it look like it's off the cuff.
Okay.
Sometimes it is off the cuff.
Yeah.
But you got to make it look like your planned stuff is also off the cuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't think of I didn't know about that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You could tell if you've ever seen the same comedian twice and they're doing their same kind of routine. You can start to hear the writing.
Okay.
You know, you can hear the writing. But a really good comedian, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're doing something different every single time.
Okay.
And it's not the same, like, even if it's the same material, they're making it really fresh.
Okay. They add to it.
Yeah.
Kind of mixing it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to keep it, you have to find ways to keep it fresh.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question about the money, right? Is there a pay difference between small club, open mic, corporate gig? You know?
Yeah, I would not get into comedy for the money, especially not in the beginning. Although you can get paid pretty early if you're funny. People can pull you on shows that are paid. In LA, it's a very kind of showcase type of town, so there's not a lot of paid gigs in town.
Okay.
In fact, I would say unless they're like a private gig, none of the clubs pay very much. You have to be a paid regular. There's thousands of comedians working at clubs that pay, but there's only a few small amount of comedians at those clubs who actually get paid. And when they get paid, it's maybe like $1 a minute. So they're getting like $20 a set. You can't live off that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So the way that comedians make money is on the road. And when you're on the road, then there's places that do pay. But LA, it's such a saturated market that comedians are being exploited here.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Although I don't think it's just there, because we've interviewed a few comedians on the East Coast, and some of them have said the same things. I mean, the pay is just extremely low.
Actually, one of them says they have to pay to get on stage.
Yeah.
So there you have to have also your own personal principles. Like, I don't do shows where like I have to pay, but I do a lot of shows where I'll definitely like buy a drink or two, or a meal to support the venue and just be a supportive person at the venue. But there are places that, like I said, exploit comedians, and it's like, I'm not going to pay your $5 or $10 to do my set when you're getting paid for entertainment.
Right.
That's just like, do you think I'm an idiot? And yes, I do think all these comedians that are allowing this are idiots.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's a great way to exploit, because there's so many comedians that just need the stage time and they're willing to pay.
Yeah.
That's what willing
wild.
to do.
Yeah. The guy that we talked about,
the
that
economy,
was, the guy that we talked about, that was in New York that he had to pay. So so I'm sure it's just similar,
Probably.
to LA, but So, I mean, so you started like started your career acting. So now, in theater, at this point, are you going to stay in comedy, or are you trying to go back to, or trying to move into like maybe TV, or, like something like that, or?
So so most comedians become comedians first, and then they try to transition and become actors.
Okay.
But I just did it the opposite, and I thought it was weird, or I was like a late bloomer, or I didn't think of it soon enough, or whatever. But I remember Chappelle talking about on one of these like actor shows about how somebody had said to him, like, if you want to be a great comedian, you should take acting classes. And I was like, I didn't waste any time.
Right.
That's why I'm like ahead of the game and winning competitions, because I have all these acting chops. I have acting chops. Because basically at the end of the day, comedians are actors too. We're performers.
Of course.
So I just put on, I have a production company called 3 Hats Productions.
Okay.
Because I just wear different hats. So I'm an actor. I'm a SAG actor since 1998. I've been in the union for that long, SAG-AFTRA, when they merged. And then I've been on TV. I've been in commercials. Been in many independent films. And so I do want to do more TV, but I always felt like I'm such a different like character that I need to find my own voice, figure out my character, and by that time there'll be a role for me.
Right.
Or I'll create the role. Like in Hollywood, it's best to like create your own vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
And not come here, because nobody's doing any discovering people anymore,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be discovered. This is my self-expression. This is what makes the most sense, like, for who I really am. It was like coming out of the closet for like a comedian. I just remember telling my family, like, oh, I'm a comedian. Like, I found my true calling. And they're like, yeah, no shit. Like,
We know.
I was going to say, our daughter came out of the closet the same way. Like,
yeah, it's like saying, like, I'm gay, and they're like, we knew.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know, but we knew.
That's exactly the reaction when our daughter came out. So, that was like, yes, and? Right.
Yes, yeah.
Glad you know now, too.
I didn't want to tell you.
It's a blind spot, so we don't see ourselves.
Yeah.
Like
that's
other
true.
people do,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah, that's cool.
So are you working on any script for a TV show for yourself or anything?
I actually have a script, called Dynamite.
Oh,
and it's I wrote this script where it's I have the first draft.
Okay.
And I know it's going to totally change by the second draft. Maybe it'll be called Dynamic by the end. No, I don't know. I actually was able to complete one first draft, but now it's like the times have changed since the first draft. So, and I wasn't sure about the ending, so I feel like, I need to do a second draft. I was working with a partner on that, and that partner and I are not working together anymore. So it's kind of like been just sitting there.
Okay.
It's mine. It was my idea. Like, when we parted ways, she was like, "This is yours," so it's mine.
Good.
But I just haven't touched it since, and I have I have other projects, and I have a documentary that I've been making since 2011 that has to be completed about this prolific youth soccer team out of San Diego. And one of the kids, when he was 14, when I started filming, went pro, and he's still playing pro. Right now he's playing for the Portland Timbers.
Is that DeAndre Edlin?
They're MLS.
Okay, no, is that DeAndre Edlin? Who's that?
Ari Lassiter.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ari Lassiter's dad, Roy Lassiter, was actually in the Hall of Fame. Landon Donovan in my film, he's a soccer legend.
Yes, he is.
American soccer legend. So I been working, so I need to finish that. But yeah, it's all about writing scripts now too. Like there's that. But then I also have my day job with my special needs kids. So it's all about time management too.
Of course. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So okay, so you work with special needs kids as your day job, but you also talked about at one point, being a marijuana mule. So what was that all about?
So it's California, guys. Like, cannabis is big here, right?
Right.
And I grew up in it. I'm telling you, like, I smoked blunts with Pop many times. Like, that was, like, we grew up with, there was weed all around us.
Of course.
And even my first, like, trimming weed jobs was, like, when I was 12, I trimmed weed.
Wait. How do you do that? Like, what's
that process?
It's a whole skill. Trimming weed, it's because you have to, like, groom, you have to manicure the little buds. They don't just show up in the packages all beautifully groomed by themselves. Somebody like me is giving little haircuts to your buds.
Wow. I didn't actually know that. I've smoked weed.
Yes.
Rodney has not.
Because they have to have a uniform look. Otherwise they look wild.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like a wild herb.
So, okay, when you were doing that, how much were you smoking?
A lot.
Good.
Oh my gosh, I love how honest you are.
You know what? I don't know hook up.
Listen, I was living in West Marin County. That's Bolinas, Stinson Beach. Like, you know, you could just reach in someone's pocket and pull out mushrooms or weed in those areas, you know? So yeah, like, it's pretty rampant, but I have to say it's not, thank God it's just like that. And nothing harder, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I got into.
Jesus, Dinah.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you this, right? Speaking of weed and everything, do you think that comedy and hip hop come from the same place? Because in hip hop, they use pain, they use truth, the trauma to survive.
Pain. Yes, pain, yes. We're making art out of our pain. We're art and music out of our pain, 100%. And even Too Short, remember Too Short?
Yeah.
He was really popular when I was in high school. And I remember, I think it might have been actually Tupac bringing us tapes and selling them to us of Too Short and Dre and like the guys that were out. We would buy like mixed tapes for like $5.
Right.
And so I remember Too Short in an interview saying that his raps are comedy.
Yeah.
Like they would be cracking up in the studio at their lyrics. Or if you listen to like Too Short's lyrics, it's comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
And
know what
so
that.
like I met this freak from China. She was a short little freak named Dinah.
Yeah.
They used to rap that to me walking through the halls of Tam.
That's hilarious.
But I said it wrong. But short little China. I met this freak named Dinah. She was a short little freak from China.
That's funny. Her. Okay.
But no, it's comedy, and it's also like it feels so freeing and powerful to like use your words like in a war of wits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To be like, because for me, I'm the youngest in my family. I have older, like there was a lot of like sibling violence and also verbal violence. And our dad used to like kind of like challenge us, like in a way, like making us feel stupid, but comedy was highly prized, you know?
Yeah.
And so if you could make somebody laugh, if you could, you know, use your intelligence and your wits to outwit somebody, it's a way to get control over the situation, especially when you're younger, you're smaller, you can't really fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can fight, but you might not win.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, words are powerful. And if you can make people laugh, you can make people cry. It's just like, it's power.
Yeah. No, I mean, I see the
But that's why we like both.
yeah, I think it is why we like both. I mean, because they do come from this vulnerable space. I mean, you know, and you're kind of putting everything that you've experienced out there for the world to see.
And to be fair, for the past couple of years, comedians acting like rappers, they are beefing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
They are beefing now.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
that is
you know
true.
what? You're right. I won. I both lost and won a roast battle.
Really?
At the Comedy Store. Yes.
Tell us about that.
The first one I lost with this comedian Pamela Walt.
Okay.
And she basically taught me how to win because she had asked me, like, I don't want to lose our friendship. So what are things that are topics that I should not talk to you about or talk about? Like, what's off limits? So, like, it's so naive. I told her what I thought would be off limits.
Oh, no. You gave her all the ammunition.
And then she used all of the off limits against me.
Wow.
Okay. And I just, she kicked my knees out. You know, she kicked my legs out from under me. Yeah. It was humiliating. I remember Bobby Lee. I don't know if you know this comedian. Bobby Lee coming up to me and going, "Dinah, you're funny. What happened? You just didn't do your homework? What happened?"
Right.
Do like Eminem on 8 Mile.
Yeah.
I really wanted to redeem myself, and then my friend, this comedian Mona Sheikh. She's Pakistani, she's Muslim, I'm Jewish, and we're like, we should do the Jew in the suit. Sorry, not the Jew in the suit, that's me and my Native American boyfriend. That's a different thing. But with her, it was, let's do like the Jew versus the Muslim versus Jew.
Right.
And she was game for it. Like, I honestly don't think we could do that same roast today.
Yeah,
You know? This was in 2016, and it's already changed so much.
Right.
But like, and also Dennis Rodman was a celebrity judge, and I didn't know he was going to be there.
Oh.
So I got to do some off the cuff stuff there that helped me win, which was like, I was like, "Oh, Dennis Rodman, I've loved you since Madonna made you."
I love it.
And he was like, "I like you."
Yeah.
But I, like with Mona, like some of the jokes were like, "Mona, if I pull your tampon string, how fast before you explode?"
Oh my God.
Wow, that's great. I love it. Yeah, that's funny.
So anyway, like I said, well, maybe you could do it today, but I don't know. It's just
I don't think so. Because I think we are too sensitive these days because
we got offended.
But you're right. Like it did turn it into like Gladiator. You know, like you said, it's like turning like rap battle, roast battle.
Yeah.
It did kind of start to change the culture of like, now we're just doing insult comedy, and which did help me with my crowd work, by the way, to like learn insult comedy, because people actually love it. They love to be like, they're begging you to insult them. But it still has to have a good punchline. It can't just be mean.
Okay, so let me tell you this, right? As a fan, when I go sit on the front row, I'm all game. You can say whatever you want to say to me. I will not get mad because here's the way I'm thinking about it. If you sit in the first 5 row, you all in. You are. Because you are front row. Like, they will roast you, and I'm hoping they roast you.
So he's one of those. Yeah. He's one of those.
Please roast me.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm in the splash zone.
Right?
Exactly,
Yes.
Me.
So well, that's what the best thing you can do is just keep going out and seeing live comedy, because it's so hard to get people to come out. Everyone's all stuck at home watching Netflix. Like, please come to live comedy. It really supports us. We can't do it without you.
We were just talking about that.
We were just talking about it today.
We have the DC Improv. We have the Baltimore Comedy Factory. So we're gonna go there.
Yeah,
I want to come there.
Yeah,
please do. Please do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, we kind of tapped on this a little bit. So, do you think that like today's comedians could really, like new comedians, could survive like the raw honesty of like the 90s, style of comedy without getting canceled?
You know what? I think that we've turned a corner in society. Like, I think like maybe it doesn't feel like it's so much where you're at, but I'm starting to see a lot of this politically incorrect humor coming back.
Okay.
And I think it's because at first we were becoming divided, but now we're all the way divided. Politically, everything. And so now there's just a comedian for every divide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think there's certain comedians that certainly would not do well at certain places where they would bomb. There's places where they would absolutely kill. Okay. So the comedians now, you just have to find your niche and your audience.
Your space.
In comedy, there's something that's really important to know, and that is to really be yourself and say really your point of view, and don't pander to audiences or other comedians. Don't pander and pretend like you think or agree with them. You really have to be strong and stay with your point of view, because that's your voice, and you might lose. Your job is to lose those people, because you'll gain your right people.
That's interesting.
So how comfortable would you be going to do like a corporate event for like a MAGA audience?
What kind of an audience?
MAGA. Like a Trump supporter audience.
Oh, sorry, MAGA. I feel like I'm one of those people that is like, I could play devil's advocate and argue. I could argue every side of everything. Like, that's just how my brain works.
Okay.
I think I'm a true liberal. I think I could talk to MAGA and I could talk to progressives.
Okay.
Maybe not the really far left psychopaths right now that are scaring me. I don't want to talk to those people. However, there's people on the right that are so far right, that are so insane. I don't want to talk to those people either.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to the people in the center.
Yeah.
That have some sanity.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I do think there's a lot more MAGA, and maybe they wouldn't even refer to themselves as MAGA, that are people that came from the Democratic Party who switched because they don't like how far the Democrats have taken things. And I just think like there's a lot of people who would be considered conservative, but they're like, I didn't change. Like, I didn't leave my party left me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel anyway. I feel like I could do performances, and I don't think I would pander. I just think there's things that are universal, and you have to find those things that are universal of human beings, of like what they're going to find funny, or finding references that I know that they'll find funny. And we don't necessarily have to get political.
Yeah. I think the comedians that would get the jobs at those MAGA parties, they do get political. So maybe I wouldn't be the right person for that job. If I was going to like open or feature somebody who was doing like the headliner of that, I could find. You just have to talk about yourself and make fun of yourself, and like there's universal things.
Of course,
that you can talk about.
Okay.
So, tell us about a joke that got you into real trouble.
I love the laugh.
I know, it's like those.
Right? She's like, I know exactly what
You know what's funny is, there's some stuff that I have that's super dated that's on YouTube, and I look at it and I just cringe because there's material that I just wouldn't write today, you know? And also just, I don't know, it's hard to see myself when I'm like just coming up and it wasn't polished and it was just, yeah. But to answer your question, I think, so I'm from New Mexico, and where I grew up was the periphery of the Dene reservation. So the Dene are the Navajo people. And so we grew up like right there, like growing up in this, in New Mexico, near the Dene reservation. And there was a little boy that used to come to the fence or around that fence, and like we had balls or stuff he wanted to play with, so we'd give it and stuff like that. And so we had like a little crush on each other, and one day he came and gave me this ring, and it was like this beautiful like native ring, and it turned out to be this Zuni ring that had been in his family for like 8 generations. So his mom came and asked for it back. And so I tell this joke, like, she came and asked for it back. There should be a name for that.
Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that joke, for sure, like, I just don't even say it anymore.
Yeah. Good.
But also, my boyfriend loves it. And he's native.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's immediately what I thought of, was like your boyfriend now. Like, oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
No, but you have to understand, like, he's not sensitive like that. He's a comedian. And the first time I met him, we were on a show together, and he watched me perform that joke. Okay. And then in his set, he was saying something like, some heckler was heckling him, and he said his name, and he was like, if I wanted to know your name, I would name you. You know, like I would give you an Indian name. So at the end, we were just like, we just ended up talking, and, you know, like, that's how we started our relationship. Okay. So he wasn't offended, but I will say, like, I did that joke for a Native audience, and it wasn't like it bombed, but I could tell it wasn't, I was like, I don't think I'm going to tell that joke anymore, you know? Yeah. So anyways, there's just jokes that were like, and at the time though, in 2006, like, people were like, that's a killer joke. Like, you know, people were into the political incorrectness of it and playing with stereotypes.
Right. So is there anyone that you're actually like afraid to offend? Who would be the enemy, you know, in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely like can be afraid for like if there's people who've been brainwashed against Jews, and I'm gonna just offend them by, you know, being in the same room with them telling jokes. Right. Am I safe to walk to my car?
Yeah.
But also
people are that crazy.
Like that. But there was a girl in the show the other day, and she was wearing her Palestinian keffiyeh in the room, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm wearing my Magen David rings and my high, so let's just be in the same room and be about our self-expression and not be enemies. Right. So, but it was like challenging for me because those riots are really anti-Semitic, and those protests, they become extremely, extremely anti-Jewish. So it's triggering for me to see people in real life wearing keffiyehs, and so it does feel like am I safe is always the question I'm always asking myself, you know? Yeah. And am I going to offend? Am I safe? But I'll tell you the one thing, like, before this all like changed, the temperature in society against Jews this strongly, like really spiked, was I'd be afraid to offend somebody that really came out to comedy to laugh and had paid for babysitters, and, you know, just like, I'm wasting their time. Like, to me, that's the most offensive thing. Like, people are paying lots of money just to pay their babysitters to come and see you. You better bring entertainment, right? You know? So I think it offends me when comics are bad in a show, you know? That I'm producing. It's like, Bring your A game every time.
Yeah. That's so
So my question for you, for both of you, who do you think is overrated as a comic?
comedy?
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's hard to say because I'm going to see these people.
Okay.
I might bump into these people.
Then don't say it. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, there's a
know who yours
comedian,
is.
like, I'll give you her initials, WC. Okay.
Okay.
And she got famous, and nobody knows how.
Oh. Yeah.
And she's not funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
So weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
literally, you can't rise in comedy unless you're funny. So nobody understands what happened.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I know it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that person's overrated, but yeah, I don't want to run into her.
yeah.
I don't know who, I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know who I think is overrated. I don't know. I like a big, I don't know, genre of comedians. If you can make me laugh, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, so.
You know who I think?
Totally.
Yeah.
You could be brand new. Just
Yes,
like
yeah, that's what I mean.
My thing is, okay, Kevin Hart. He's good. No, he's good. I'm not saying he's not good. He's good and he works very hard. But to me, he's overrated.
Right, we'll never have Kevin Hart on our channel ever.
Like he was gonna come here.
You know what? I love that you said that. I really love that you said that because I think Kevin Hart is a case study for how Hollywood actually works.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, like, how Hollywood actually works is you see there's a lot of like kind of like boring people. I'm not saying he's boring, but like there's a lot of like the Midwest is really what's making Hollywood the most money.
Yeah.
So it has to be like Midwestern appeal.
Yeah.
So Kevin Hart has this like Midwestern appeal because he's just so like relatable and like a regular guy that you might meet at the Starbucks.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of success stories of people that you're like, so they're not so dynamic, they're not so but they actually do something for Middle America, and Middle America is one that pays the bills.
That's true.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and my only issue with Kevin Hart is like I liked his first stand up that was on that was that he did, his first big one. I liked when he talked about growing up and his father and things like that, but then it just kept being the same thing, like over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, it can't just always be the same thing over and like you got to change it up. You got to, you can't have 7 shows or 7 specials that are all the same special.
No.
So, yeah.
No. And the rule there is once that material is in a special, it's exhausted. You can't use it anymore. Yeah. Maybe you could do it live because people want to hear some of the stuff that they love you for.
Right.
But you can't keep putting it. Like I've repeated something in a smaller thing, but nothing's really blown up that big.
Yeah.
Like, so it's okay to repeat something if it's a smaller mini special that I did into something bigger. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. But now I have a bigger special. Now I have to exhaust those jokes, and you have to start from fresh.
Of course.
And start from nothing. So you always have to be writing.
Yeah. Jim Gaffigan is one of my favorites. But I think I've seen him in person. I've seen him all of his specials and stuff too. And I think part of that is because he talks about his family a lot, but he does it in a very different way. Like you can tell they're growing up, different things are happening, different changes are occurring in his life, and now he's talking about his weight loss and things like that. But it's always like, I don't know, he's a very just normal person too, and I think that I like that about him. That's why he's so popular too. Middle of America. Right. He is very relatable. And I don't know. I just think that's
comedy. You have to be relatable.
Yeah. And he uses what he knows, but he changes it up. Even when I saw him in person right after he had done one of his specials. I can't remember which one, but he had like one joke out of that special in his in-person act, but the rest of it was all different material that I hadn't heard before. So
that's good. That's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
But also, it's not so easy. Like, if you ever watch Seinfeld's documentary about like how he starts over, that's all of us. There's a point where you're just like, okay, I literally got nothing. Because I got to start over. And they're expecting a whole new hour.
Right.
And not that long. So, and typically it takes like a year to come up with 10 new minutes that are funny. So that's when they start hiring other comedians. Those big headliners are not writing their own stuff anymore.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
They have writers. They have a team of writers.
That's interesting because I actually liked Kevin Hart's last special that he did, the newest one, and it's very different than than his other. Right?
That's why I liked it. That wasn't bad.
No.
I mean, I can't say they're not writing all their own stuff, but it might be like, okay, guys, I have this premise. Now punch it up. Give me the punchlines.
Right.
So, as a comedian, do you feel pressure to be funny online, to be funny all the time, to be always on?
Like right now, do you feel pressure?
Well, I mean, I do feel like a little pressure to be like, okay, I know we touch on some very serious topics right now, but and so I don't want to be like a drip and drag it down,
Right.
Because it got very real. But yeah, I do. I have to constantly take a check in with myself to like lift it back up, because I don't want to like be somber and pull it down. Nobody wants Debbie Downer on their show. So it's like there is pressure for me. Like I said, as a female comic, you have to be funny out the gate. Like you should have a really strong opener.
Yeah.
So I feel a pressure as a female comedian to get up there. Like sometimes you'll see guys kind of warming up. They just get up and talk a little bit.
Right.
And then they get into it. I don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Because they'll turn on me quicker.
Wow.
So I have to let them know, oh, she's funny, like right away.
Yeah.
And got to start strong, middle strong, and end strong. That's like the thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
We interviewed another female comedian, Jody.
She was Jewish.
Yeah, she's Jewish as well. Yeah, Joey Friedman. She's in the DC area, and she was.
It's a trait. It's a trait. Like it's in my DNA as a trait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like on my Ancestry.com, it's literally talks about Jewish traits and where it came from.
Okay.
And humor, like stand-up comedy, but humor is a trait for Jews because we prize it of many centuries of persecution.
Yeah.
And it's just becomes a trait. Like
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But she's new. She's very new. She's very good, and she's kind of rising up like very fast. And she admits that she doesn't, she's not sure how she's going so fast. But
by the way, she will be at the Improv this month.
Yeah. And she's been at it for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
But she hasn't. It's interesting talking to you both because you've clearly had a lot of history, both in comedy and in being in theater and stuff. She hasn't really experienced as much of the stuff that you're talking about, women being, the Me Too stuff, that, that kind of thing. But she's definitely heard of many women that have experienced that as well. And so.
Well, she's just getting in it now. She's coming in at a much better time.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because it really put, these kind of predator type people on blast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Enough of them got put on blast. Yeah. That put the culture in check. Like, you're not just going to get away with these things anymore, you guys. Yeah. So hopefully, like, we did our job. And that makes me happy that she's, that she's not experiencing that.
And she said too, her age, so she came into it older, you know,
same age,
same,
I think,
yeah, like in her 30 or
30s,
so,
yeah.
when she started in comedy as well. So she experienced, she had breast cancer twice. So,
Wow.
yeah, and
Wow.
She's been through
through
a
that
lot,
trauma, she was, you know, she found comedy as kind of a way to get through that, and so she attributes
Laughter
to some
is
of
the
it.
best medicine.
Yeah,
She said as she was doing chemo, she was making other patient laugh, making the nurses laugh, the doctors laugh.
Yeah.
That's how she
What's
became a
her
comic. Joey
Joey
Friedman.
Yeah, she's
Friedman. I'll
yeah.
follow her. That's a fantastic way to get into comedy, and what a powerful story. And so, like, we need that. We need her voice.
Yeah,
and she's really funny.
That's relatable. Like, she has a whole market of people that want to hear that kind of comedy.
Yeah.
And she actually produces a show,
Sense of Humor.
Sense of Humor, that they do every year in support of you know, cancer survivors. So
and we saw her live. She was really good, and
she is
hopefully
really
we can see her again soon. You know?
Yeah.
Really
So one last question: do you think that social media platforms help comedy evolve, or do you think that they're kind of quietly ruining it a little bit? Because, like, there's such pressure to have this social media presence, or at least that's what we've heard from other comedians that we've interviewed, that's how they get out there, is having that social media presence.
Well, I'm going to tell you, like, my friend Mona told me when I said, what happens after rap?
Okay.
More rap.
More rap.
Social media is here to stay. It's only getting more and more like it. You have to have a social media presence, because that's what the bookers are looking for. They're not going to book you if you don't have an audience.
Right.
So you'll see people who didn't have an audience yesterday suddenly have a very large audience because they paid for it. They paid for their audience, you know?
Right.
Like, but there's also there's still an organic, you know, people building their fan base. But it's really, really important, because that's the first thing that bookers and producer people are looking at. Should I get this person on my show? Because, you know, they want their show promoted by as many people who can see it. So they're going to give it to the people who have the biggest audience.
Yeah.
Now, if you have the biggest audience, can you command more money? Hopefully?
Yes.
Okay, good.
100%.
Okay.
It definitely translates to how much you get paid.
Then that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I think that helps then too. Yeah, if you can get that bigger audience.
Yes. Thank you, Donna. Thanks for being here, man. We
this is
appreciate
great.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you so